Students who are bored in class close their minds to learning. Many fail. Students who are stimulated in class open their minds, use their imaginations, and succeed. And students of all ages love music. By listening to music, they absorb information differently than by reading and memorizing. Think about it. How did we all learn our ABCs? This is the underlying concept of the Muse Project. In our first program, America Revealed, we take key documents from American history and literature and put them to music. CDs of the material are recorded and brought directly into the classroom. Exploration of the document through music allows students to experience the emotional interpretation of history.
Is this a safe thing to do? No, why? It's treason. You're risking your life, okay? I think we tend to forget that today. Other responses, Maggie?
I don't know. I just like the free and independent stance.
The music needs that depth, or else you wouldn't feel all the emotion, like the sadness or the anger, the happiness.
Students also have the opportunity to write their own lyrics in music, helping them make meaning from dry, inaccessible texts. If you made improvements to your land, our land is our land.
You're going to be taking these words and these phrases and your own ideas and thoughts about this document, about the meaning behind these words here, and you're going to be writing it into a song. Now,
And then we go, right? It's my blood, my red. It's my blood, my red. We want that.
Students love music. They listen to music. It's so much a part of their lives. And to be able to integrate music to help them understand primary source documents has been a wonderful experience. Our students have benefited greatly from the work of the Muse Project.
right? Is that kind of? It is an amazing experience to have the students relate emotionally to these historical documents that really have a lot more to do with things that were going on back then than to their lives today. And to see them make connections is a really inspiring thing. It just shows me the impact that taking documents, not for what they say, but for what they mean and for what their intention was. And to show how that really spreads not only across time, but across curriculum and across ages.
Integrating the arts and literacy is a very, very big motivator, not only for students, but also for educators who are looking for ways to integrate this type of work. Our hope is to develop a plan to integrate this work with our social studies work, with our work with musicians, music teachers, and English teachers, both at the middle school, high school, and hopefully eventually the elementary level.
We have lost our land today.
It's a way to make a meaningful whole out of the learning for our students. And you can see as soon as the music comes on, everybody comes to life. So we took a very, dare I say, dull, but important act, the Indian Removal Act, the removal of the Indians from their land. And if you stayed with that very dry, formal language, most students would memorize what they had to memorize on a test, but it would not have touched them, and it wouldn't be something that they would remember the day after the test. We learn not by learning about or reading, but by actually having the experience and then adding meaning to that experience. So it emphasizes integration and wholeness of curriculum, and it takes what students are interested in so that they don't have to leave themselves at the door.
When Mr. Hayden played We Will Go in class, my response was that like the government's actions towards the Indians were unfair. The somber tone of the music definitely reflected probably the feelings that many of the Native Americans had, like when they were forced to leave their lands in the East.
The Muse Project also provides choral instructors with musical charts of the material for choral performances. The experience of singing the document gives students like Sarah Wesley the opportunity to make deeper meaning of the original text.
We got the message that it was kind of a complaint, really, because the Declaration of Independence was all of this unrest that the colonists were feeling. So it wasn't.
Finally, the Muse Project educates educators who take the materials back to their classrooms.
Having to read some very difficult historical documents, which I like to bring into my classroom, and sometimes we don't know as teachers how to present it with all the vocabulary, but I think if they have to read it themselves and interpret it themselves, and they are the owners of that learning, we all win. Because
my impressions of the Muse Project is I think it's a wonderful and great idea. One of the reasons is it helps with the students who have multiple intelligences. Different kids learn in different ways, and using music to help them learn a concept or an idea is great.
And one of the ways we see democracy carried out in a classroom is to have meaningful interdisciplinary curriculum, so that we don't have students who say, is the same Leonardo da Vinci I heard about in science, is that the same guy who did the art? Yes, it is one and the same. It's the way we've separated our learning into disciplines.
One of the most difficult and challenging parts of teaching history is getting students to be motivated and interested in primary source document, especially older primary source document. After watching a class, I'm amazed at how well students are able to comprehend and understand primary source document, and not only understand it, but get involved and be motivated by the words and by what's being said.